Welcome to Rare Sports Radio. I'm Brett Mayerson.
I'm Sam Mahler.
And I'm Kedar.
And we are here to bring you the latest on our local professional sports and our high school sports here at Scotch Plains Fairwood High School. We'll do our 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 topics today. Topic number 5, NHL and the Rangers and the Islanders. Rangers are doing solid still, beating the Islanders for the first time last night, 6-5. And the Islanders still the best team in New York, and the Devils, maybe we should just leave them out of the conversation.
Probably. Not much to talk about there in New Jersey. But, yeah, that Rangers-Islanders game was insane. You had the Islanders jump out to early lead with Tavares scoring within the first 11 seconds, just showing that he's one of the best players in the league. They built a couple leads, and the Rangers were able to battle back, ended up not leading until that 6-5 score. So they took the lead when it mattered, and I think that win was big for them because they showed that they can actually compete with the Islanders. They hadn't been able to do so in the previous 3 games. So last night was huge for the Rangers.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, but who would have thought the Islanders would even make it this far? I mean, they're doing so well this year, and it seems like even the last 3 years, it's either been the Rangers or the Devils, really taking the league over. But this time it's the Islanders, and they're really showing that they're a dominant team. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Islanders definitely the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference, one of the top teams in the NHL behind the Nashville Predators, who are destroying it this year. The Islanders, I was very shocked that they lost to the Rangers last night, though, because the fact that they've been undefeated against them the entire year. To me, that was a game that they should have won.
Yeah.
There were some goals that Halak should have been able to stop, and the defense just collapsed in the end.
Yeah, and also they had a couple of breakaways that they should have been able to capitalize on. You got to give it up for Cam Talbot, filling in for Lundqvist, who's out for about a month with his neck injury. He's being just what the Rangers need him to be. Obviously, he's not the same kind of pedigree that Henrik Lundqvist is, but filling in, he's been exceptional, and I think last night's win was really the kind of boost that he needs in terms of self-esteem to prove that he can handle taking on some of these other teams and some of these high-powered offenses just like the Islanders.
Yeah, the Rangers playing the Islanders, it really showed. That's a true test right there because obviously you have the Islanders, one of the best teams in the league, and you have the Rangers who are looking to make a really hard push to the playoffs. So it just comes down to the fact that, the Rangers just got to keep playing hard and beating teams like this, like the Islanders who have been so hot throughout the season. It really proves that they're, one step away from making it really far in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So.
And how great of a playoff series would that be, seeing those 2 teams compete in the first round of the playoffs? That would be fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. It could end up either
Game 7.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be a very intense series going back and forth between Long Island and Manhattan. That'd be insane. I think the main reason that the Rangers have been so dominant in recent weeks is the player Rick Nash, second leading scorer, only behind Alexander Ovechkin. He's really powering that offense all the way. He's getting a lot of help from the younger guys too, and Hayes and some of the other guys. And I think that if he can continue to play at the level that he's been playing at all season, I think they got a good shot at returning to the Stanley Cup Finals and maybe taking it home this year.
All right, let's hope our local teams do well. And the Devils, we hope you guys get an early round draft pick so you guys can have a good future. Because I don't know what there is to talk about right now with their season being pretty much over. All right, NBA/NBA All-Star Weekend. The Nets are putting up a few wins here and there and losing a lot of close games.
Yeah.
And the Knicks are out of it.
Yeah.
They have been since day one.
Yeah.
But the Nets look like right now they're only like 1 game behind the Miami Heat for the last Eastern Conference playoff spot. Hopefully the Nets will take that playoff spot and see what they can do in the playoffs, as they usually have shown that they can usually win in the first round, but have a terrible regular season. So let's see what happens.
With that jumbled up Eastern Conference, you never know if you just make it in, even as the 8 or 7 seed. You got a shot because no one is that clear dominant force. Obviously, the Hawks, best team in the East, had that huge win streak, but they've cooled off a little bit, as a lot of people expected them to. It'll be interesting to see, assuming that they make the playoffs, how they're able to do, since they really haven't been able to perform in the playoffs. So a team like the Nets, with a lot of those veterans, if they make the playoffs, they could easily take out a team like the Hawks or the Raptors or the Wizards, a couple of those younger teams. But I think that they just need to keep playing, keep their heads high, because obviously after these couple rough losses, it takes a hit to your self-esteem, but you just got to bounce back and hope that you win your next games.
I don't know. I see it a little differently. I don't think they're gonna even make the playoffs, to be honest. No, I don't actually. Being actually a Brooklyn Nets fan myself, I just don't see it happening. They haven't been consistent all year, and teams like the Atlanta Hawks and the Toronto Raptors, they've been so dominant throughout the season. I just don't see it happening. It could be a blowout, to be honest.
Yeah, but I think with the Heat being as inconsistent as they've been all year as well, the Nets can easily slide back in there, but it's going to be a battle for that 8th seed. So we'll see what happens at the end of the season. And the Knicks, let's hope they also get an early round draft pick so they can have a bright future as well with one of the worst records in the NBA.
Yeah, with Carmelo Anthony likely sitting out for the rest of the season, there is just no bright spot for that team. He is that team. He is the entire scoring for that team. So without him, there's no way that they'll be able to do anything. So I think you just hope that you lose most, if not all, of your remaining games and get probably Jahlil Okafor, because he's most likely going to be the first pick in the upcoming NBA draft. So if they can get a player like that and a couple other solid draft picks in the upcoming draft, I think they'll continue to build for the future, because this year it's just not happening.
I recommend Knicks fans really save their money this year and not come out to these games, because they will be pitiful. You will be. There will be very, very many blowouts.
I mean, we appreciate your loyalty.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, wait till they're good again. And we'll talk a little bit about All-Star Weekend very briefly. All-Star Weekend, huge success this year in the Brooklyn, New York City area. The dunk contest and the Rising Stars Challenge being held at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, the Celebrity Game and the All-Star Game being held at Madison Square Garden. The dunk contest won by the young stud Zach LaVine, who looked like an incredible, non-human athlete in this dunk contest.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when he was compiling his highlight reels heading into the draft, a lot of people were talking about his ability to dunk. He had a bunch of crazy dunks that he put in his highlight reel. So I had a feeling coming into this year's NBA dunk contest that he was the favorite to win, just based on what he's able to do with the basketball in midair. It's exceptional. He's a crazy athlete. His Space Jam dunk, that was probably one of the best dunks I've ever seen. That was awesome. And then, I mean, you got to talk about the three-point contest. Steph Curry just going lights out in that final round, hitting 13 of his final 14 shots, scoring 27 out of 30. That's just absolutely insane. I mean, the Splash Brothers killed it. I don't think anyone expected anything less out of Steph Curry. The guy's got the nicest shot in the entire league.
It's funny you say that, because I expected Kyle Korver to win the three-point contest, because Kyle Korver is one of the best three-point shooters in the league, and he only scored a little under 20. He didn't even come close. What Steph Curry hit.
Exactly. That just shows you how talented Steph Curry is with the basketball.
Yeah, I mean, it's New York, that's where the lights shine brightest. And even to go back to the dunk contest, Zach LaVine, I've actually had the blessing to watch him play in many tournaments, and I've seen him in dunk contests throughout when he was in high school, because he's only 19, so he just graduated, 2 years ago. So, but he's actually been doing those same dunks in high school. He's just been a total stud. He has the craziest bounce. Yeah, he could just jump so high, and it's really amazing to watch him. And people talk a lot about the dunk contest, how it's gone down in quality over years, but he really revived it, and I really like the dunks that he put on. A lot of we haven't seen those dunks a lot before, so it was really impressive to see him come out there and win it like that.
Yes, it was. And the All-Star Game, the West prevails again by 5 points this time, a pretty close deficit compared to the previous years. However, that's the biggest joke of a basketball game on the planet, as there is no defense, and guys sometimes that you would never see do some acrobatic dunks, because there's no guys in front of them.
Yeah, I mean, I tuned it on. It was just pathetic to watch. I mean,
it can be fun, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's the point. It's not like the MLB All-Star Game where they're at least playing for something, but the NBA All-Star Game, I mean, I guess it's fun to watch just to see some of these All-Stars play, but other than that, zero excitement.
Yeah. All right, and now we'll do some college basketball here. Our local college team, Seton Hall, who's probably been the best around here all year, is still on the borderline of the rankings, not out of it, but they look like they are probably going to head into the NCAA tournament as March is closing in on us.
Yeah.
So let's hear what everyone has to say here.
They've fallen off a little bit. Last night, frustration really started to settle in against Villanova. It's been the talk all over Twitter. Sterling Gibbs, Scotch Plains native, delivered a low blow to Ryan Arcidiacono. He got suspended from that game after receiving a flagrant 2. Not sure if he'll be suspended from the team or if he'll be able to play again later this season. But it just really summed up how the last couple games have been going for Seton Hall. They started off so hot, knocking off Villanova and St. John's in consecutive games earlier in the season. But since they've just lost a lot of Big East games, their conference schedule is pretty tough and their record shows it. So I think if they want to have a shot at making the tournament, they really got to bounce back and perform and beat the remaining teams that they play, because the way they've been playing lately, they're not going to make the tournament.
Yeah, I was actually fortunate to go to one of Seton Hall's games. They played Georgetown last week, and I took away a couple key points. One of the main points I took away was turnovers. And you have Isaiah Whitehead, who, he's a young point guard.
Freshman.
Yeah, they really got to cut out the turnovers, because they were losing, I believe, 26-7 in the first quarter. But, they fought their way back, and by the time it was halftime, it was tied up 44-44. But the reason why the game was lost was because of turnovers and missed free throws. And you have to be able to convert these free throws in order to win games, obviously, because they missed about, I would say, around 12 to 14 points on free throws missed. And Ashton missed a whole bunch of free throws. So, he really needs to just get in the gym.
You mean Sterling?
Oh, Sterling.
Yeah, that's it. Ashton's overseas, man.
There's Gibbs brothers. They get confusing.
They do look alike, though. So.
But, Sterling really needs to get in the gym and just focus on making them free throws. And the turnovers, they just really need to limit the turnovers, because they came back into the game. It's not a problem. They play with a lot of heart, but when you turn the ball over, it's really hard to just stay in the game. You know what I'm saying? It's really hard to make comebacks. So in order to win, just limit the turnovers.
Yeah, just fundamental stuff. Free throws and turnovers.
Yeah, so just eliminate the stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. All right, for now, topics 2 and 1, our last remaining 3 minutes of the show here before we head into an interview with our hockey goalie, Tim Mitchell. High school sports. Boys basketball is unfortunately not going to make states, and they close out their season this week with 2 games that are actually against easy teams, one against Oratory Prep and another one against a not-so-great team either. So the boys looks like they're going to get 2 back-to-back wins now, but it just doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully the boys can at least end on a high note with a couple wins, but it's just really unfortunate how tough their schedule has been all year. Union County is one of the best counties in terms of boys basketball in the entire state, going up against the likes of Roselle Catholic, Linden, Plainfield,
Westfield.
Yeah, just really good teams that I think the biggest thing is size, and that's a thing that a lot of the other schools have, like Plainfield. Almost all their guys are over 6'2". Our team only has 1 kid of that height, so that's been our weakness for the entire season. We just haven't been able to dominate rebounds and have a big force in the paint. And I think that a lot of people, especially after Leo's 57-point game, a lot of people have been drawing a lot of attention to him. And I think that once they take him out, our other guys haven't been able to step up. So it's kind of been like a one-man show, and when you take out Leo, we become kind of one-dimensional, and then defenses stop us pretty quick.
Yeah, like Sam said, it's been about size. I mean, it's unfortunate, but we saw this coming. We saw, how tall these teams were, a lot of these teams were, how skilled these guys were, and they had a couple of good games. Remember that game against Roselle? That was a really good game. But it's unfortunate they had to end their season like this. Justin Cryer actually just got injured, unfortunately, so it's been a really rough season, but it's hard to say we couldn't see this coming, unfortunately.
Yeah, hopefully we'll build in the future, as there could be some big kids coming up if they decide to stay in district.
Yeah.
So let's hope that these kids decide to stay in district and our boys get better. But good season to you guys, because you guys actually won some pretty good games. Leo, congratulations to you on your 57 points, and hopefully some D3 coaches will want to have you on their team, because I hear that you're getting some looks. So with those 3 looks that Leo's getting, looks like he's going to have a basketball success in his future. So let's hope that happens. For our girls basketball, 9-11, 2 games under 500. So that's not terrible. They're still in counties right now.
That's right. And I think the biggest thing is that they're young. So regardless of what happens this year, they have a lot of promising underclassmen for the future. So I think that in the next coming years, they're only going to get better. Tabitha, the lone senior, that
hurts to lose her because she's big.
Yeah, she's been on the team since her freshman year. She's a dominating force, so it'll be really hard for her to graduate in terms of the success of this basketball team. But I think that some of these younger girls will absolutely step up and I think that in 2 or 3 years they're going to be phenomenal.
Yes, and we'll also talk about our boys ice hockey. Boys ice hockey, congratulations to you guys. Your first win in the county tournament since 2 years ago in the first round with a 6-1 win over GL. The first time this year that they beat Governor Livingston actually in the first round. They will head to the second round tomorrow at Warnaco Park in Roselle at 4:45 against the #1 team in the county, Summit.
Okay, and I just want to give a quick shout out to Christian Zufali and Quincy Sanchez. They both made meet champions. Quincy Sanchez made it for the 55 hurdles individual, and Christian Zufali actually came in second in the state for pole vault. He jumped 13 feet, which ties his PR. So I'm very proud of them too.
Yeah, and one last shout out to the boys and girls swimming team. Girls swimming team is undefeated. Boys swimming team also both teams won. Yeah, both teams won their sectional tournaments. Both very heavy favorites to win a state tournament, so hopefully they can both get that ring.
All right.
Boy.
Now, thank you for all those shout-outs, guys. And we will now head into an interview with our varsity hockey goalie, Tim Mitchell. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Peace.
Welcome back to Rare Sports Radio. I'm Brett Mayerson.
I'm Kedar Carrington.
And we are here with our starting varsity goalie here at Scotch Plains High School for the ice hockey team, Tim Mitchell. How are you doing today, Tim?
I'm good. You?
Good. So let's talk about your season a little bit. You guys had your first win in the county tournament yesterday this year, beating Governor Livingston 6-1. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What has your outlook on the season been this entire year?
Just take it as it goes. Focus on individual games, not try to think about, oh, we got to go win this many games. Just take it one game at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And how's the county tournament looking so far? How far do you guys think you'll advance?
Hopefully we'll advance to the final round, win a championship, but we got to get past #1 seed Summit tomorrow.
Yeah, I heard they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Really good, yeah.
Although you guys did lose to Summit by 2 goals, though, so do you think that, which is like probably the shortest margin you've had with them in the past few years, so do you think you guys actually have a shot at giving Summit a game, your next game?
Yeah, we do. We just got to come out, play hard. We could take these guys. I mean, they're not unbeatable.
Yeah. Of course, no one's unbeatable unless you're an insane team like Del Barton. So you're, of course, 2 games out of the states, even though because you guys beat Bayonne being 10-11 regular season. That was after the cutoff. You guys threw in your bid already to see if you guys are going to make it. Do you think you have a decent shot at making it into the state tournament again this year?
Honestly, we'll see. We'll just see what happens. I mean, anything's possible.
All right. Well, thank you, Tim, and we would like to have you sign our wall in the back there, as we have a tradition like that for our guests here.
All right. What do I sign it?
Yeah, just sign it.
anywhere you
If you
want.
guys sign your first and last name, you can just do that.
All right.
Some people write their numbers.
Put a
You want to
little
do that?
nickname, put a little character, I don't know, you being a goalie or something.
All right.
All right. That wraps up our interview with Tim Mitchell, and that also wraps up our show here on Rare Sports Radio. I'm Brett Mayerson,
I'm Kedar Carrington.
and we'll see you next week. Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.